Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I hope that you're having a super day out there. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you stopping by. Today we're going to listen to Mott, the Hoople. We are returning to the band with this track all the way from Memphis. This is off of their 6th studio album, Mott, which was released in 1973. We're listening to this track because it was suggested and sponsored by JB. So JB, thank you so much for the recommendation. Really appreciate the support, the sponsorship as well. And I believe that this may have been also recommended by other people. Stephen Cooligan, I got your names right here. Ernest Sater, DeLorean Yaz, Shattered, Alex Alexson, Rick Paul, there you are. John Fazone, I see you. DeLorean God, Bob Shirley, Rosa, Edward Sigahominy, I'm so sorry I mispronounced your name, Sigahominy, Matt Shaw, and the list goes on from there. Super Soul Production, Scott Stevens. Thank you guys so much for the recommendation. Let's go ahead and dive on into the track all the way from Memphis, or in this case, all the way from Orlando. Here we go. Piano's traveling, that's for sure.
Forgot my 6-string razor, hit the sky. Halfway to Memphis before I realized.
Love how the guitar came in.
I rang the information. My ex was cold. They said she rides a train to Oreo. Now it's a mighty long way down the dusty trail, and the sun burns hot on the coastal rails. And I look like a bum and I crawl like a snail. All the way from Memphis. And I got to Oreo, you know.
I like the drama in here.
Took a month, and there was my guitar, electric junk. Some spades said rock and rollers, you're all the same. Man, that's your instrument. I felt so ashamed.
That's good structure in the verse. Big chorus coming out, the harmonies, the guitar roaring now.
You look like a star, but you're still on the dole. All the way from
Love the stutter on that horn. Just stuttering. Sax guitar combo is really good.
And you climb up the mountains and you fall down the holes. All the way from Memphis.
It's a fun, catchy piano line throughout the track as
And you
well.
gotta stay young, man, you can never be old. All the way from Memphis. You look like a star, but you're really out on parole. All the way from Memphis.
Someone get that tambourine. It's like I love the guitar, how it wails back there while this sax solo is happening. Squeaking. walking like I'm stepping on a mouse. Stellar guitar playing throughout this track. You know what I like about Mott the Hoople, Ian Hunter, and like the music we've heard so far, is that like a track like this comes across to me as a very catchy single from the band. I see that at least it has its own Wikipedia page, so I'm imagining it is a single from the band and from the album. It's catchy, has a great chorus. It seems like a party track. This seems like one of those tracks that you put on, and I don't know, it's just always the imagery I get. You're driving down the strip at night or sunset or I don't know, and you're feeling good. Maybe you didn't win the lotto, but something good happened in your day and you're just riding that high. You're driving down the strip and you're feeling good. This is that kind of like feel good party atmosphere kind of music that I would like associate with that. But there's still a lot of depth to it. The construction and the way that the verse is played, I think plays very dramatically. And I love that leading piano line and how it keeps on playing a jolly tune, but it kind of descends as it goes, adding some drama. And then, of course, Ian comes in singing. The guitar is wonderful in this track as well. Mick Ralph's playing guitar here. And like he's just sensational. I love the way the guitar screams as an aside next to the piano in the beginning, giving us a hint and a foreshadow of where it would come in later. Because later, you have a little bit of a guest star with Andy McKay from Roxy Music playing the saxophone. I love how he's involved here. I love that squeaky, squeak tone that he gets into on the back half of his solo. And specifically the back and forth between McKay's saxophone and then Mick's guitar, I think sounded sensational. And we got some time to spend with both of them as they both performed their solos, but it was time well spent. It actually made like perfect sense how they played and how they worked off of one another's melodies and tones and lines. Like it was just really, really well done. And I like how an experienced saxophonist, and especially with the, glam rock beginnings of Roxy Music and how that kind of plays into this. And I like how the sometimes, maybe not abstract, but occasionally off the wall that Andy would play with Roxy Music works its way in here, and that's what I mean. Like the music is made more interesting by the musicians who are performing it and what they're doing. And I really enjoyed Andy's contributions, but especially alongside with Ralph's guitar, because I thought that was fantastic. And once again, getting back to the verse, just the construction of it, the piano, like the way at the end of the lines, how Ian will come and just sang a line and then it goes, back into the chorus. It's just a really nice back and forth, supplements with some really good solos. It's just a great track in every single respect, not only from a catchy tune you would sing while you're riding that high, but also just a not overly technical, not like a Dream Theater kind of thing, but very well played and played to the musician's abilities. Let's look at these lyrics. Forgot my 6-string razor, hit the sky. Halfway to Memphis before I realized. Well, I rang the information, my axe was cold. They said she rides the train to Oriole. Well, you forgot your guitar, probably the most important thing in a musician's repertoire, especially if you are the guitarist. And that guitar is apparently heading, I would assume, the other way. Now it's a mighty long way down the dusty trail, and the sun burns hot on the cold steel rails. And I look like a bum, and I crawl like a snail all the way from Memphis. So is he hopping on the train as well, just trying to catch his guitar? Well, I got to Oriole, it took a month, and there was my guitar, electric junk. Okay, found it. Some spades said, rock and rollers, you're all the same. Man, that's your instrument. I felt so ashamed. Was he getting made fun of, like Like, he should have been taking better care of his instrument. He should have been really watching it. Like, the guy's saying, like, you guys are all the same. You're not paying attention to your instrument. You're not giving it the due respect. How did it end up here with me when it should have been in your hands the whole time? Hence, his shame. Now it's a mighty long way down rock and roll through the Bradford cities and the Orioles, and you look like a star, but you're still on the dole, all the way from Memphis. Yeah, it's a mighty long way. You climb up mountains, you fall down the holes. Yeah, like there's some highs in the career of a musician, of course, and especially a professional musician such as Mott the Hoople. Like, you're climbing some mountains, you get some highs, but at the same time, you know, some things never change, and apparently him forgetting his guitar. I wonder if that was a true story. We'll find out in the Wikipedia page here, if it says anything about that. And it goes on from there. All right, it's a single, as I said, released from the band as the lead track from the album. It tells the story of a rock and roller whose guitar is shipped to Oriole, Kentucky instead of Memphis, Tennessee. Okay, so the roadie made a wrong call there. The track peaked at number 10 on the UK singles chart. And although it did not chart in the US, it did receive considerable airplay on AOR stations. When it was released, it reached the top 40 of the Billboard Top 200, peaking at number 35. All right. Obviously, it gets shipped to the wrong place, as he mentions. The song reflects a wariness with the rock and roll lifestyle, including the strain of constant touring and the low public opinion of rock and roll singers. This theme appears in the chorus, which is repeated with minor variations. You look like a star, but you're still on the dole. You look like the part, but what's going on isn't saying otherwise. And, of course, it goes on and it goes on from there. And JP also mentioned that it was covered by Brian May on his album, Another World. It does, all right, like, okay, this is his second studio album looking at this page. Is Brian May's solo work worth looking at? I know I'm kind of getting off of what we're talking about. I'm just curious. I don't know if I've ever heard anyone talk about Brian May's solo material. Should we take a look at it? Or is it not up to snuff? I don't know. My mind was just looking at it. All right. Anyways, thank you so much, JB, for the recommendation. Thank you so much for the sponsorship. My mind was just going into other places there, but I really, really appreciate that. Let me know what you guys thought of it, of course, in the comments down below. If you have a song request that you want to sponsor and jump up the line, you could do that just like JB did. Otherwise, that's it. Almost flipped my phone off the desk. That's it. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you all later. Bye, guys.